Now this is, again, my thumb held at arm's distance. It's the only thing I have for scale. I see this. And it sprouts wings this time. They were glowing wings too. Again, picture by picture, it fades out and it grows. Can you see it? I think I'll just have to do this. It grew wings as it went. This faded out to where I couldn't see it anymore, but then the wings got bigger and bigger at the same time. I just gut feeling, I'm going with like maybe 2 feet. Those wings were probably 2 feet wide, so it was just a little bit bigger than my model there. Hey, they got to grow up from an egg that's this big, right? So they're either growing up to be big or they're a separate species that was small to begin with. Again, a meteor happens, and then I see a black flying creature this time. Very first for me, I was so excited. I called it out to David Wetzel right away. Again, the meteor blacks out. It lights up just like you would not be able to tell it apart from a normal meteor. But as it blacked out entirely, I could see the outline of a black flying creature. The wings were moving so fast, it was blurry. The wings were blurry. The head was basically a crow-like shaped head, just a typical crow in morphology, but the rump was definitely not like a crow. It had a rounded rump. Crows have nice long tail feathers. So it wasn't a crow, but it could have been similar size. Now, Jane, our research biologist that we paid a year, sponsored by Genesis Park, to stay out in the field for a year at night and take field notes and report back to us. She was amazing. She reported the opposite. I saw the meteor turn into a black flying creature. She saw a black flying creature, evidently chasing prey, potentially, go do a U-turn and then zip down real quick and just turn into a meteor. Talk about something beautiful, by the way. Now, in Hesdalen, Norway, they have been describing the Hesdalen lights for many years. They're not all like this. They come and they're balls of light, they're blobs of light. Some actually kind of look like they're flapping, but they would never go that direction. They don't think it's biological. They think it's swamp gas. They think it's some geological event happening, ball lightning, some other type of lightning. They're coming up with all the possible answers. And nobody's coming to a hard conclusion at all. And none of them are suggesting it could be a fiery flying serpent. Yes? Yes.
Is that a real photograph?
That is a real photograph. Yes, that is. Now, the reason I grabbed this one out of the many pictures they have online, the only and throughout the world, the only place I know where they have university and private funding year-round to record both video and stills, any light activity at night in Hesdalen. And you can go there right now. Go to the Hesdalen website and you will find it. And you could go through their archive and look through all their pictures. This is just one I found. When I was researching in one of our American locations, I didn't see this in New Guinea. I did see a lot of shooting star activity in New Guinea that I believe was the creature because they were coming towards each other too much. And David Wetzel definitely saw a big one fly by in New Guinea. But in America, we kept seeing the same phenomenon, but this one was unique. We've been there several times. I would say it's about at least 2 years into doing research here in the United States. Again, typical shooting star. And this one, shooting star, beautiful, can't tell it apart from any other shooting star, suddenly starts to wiggle its tail, and the light is left behind. And it looked just like this. They don't have a clue what this is. They think it's going 30,000 kilometers per hour, million miles an hour. Well, maybe that's because they think it's so much further away. Maybe it's just closer. That's what we're seeing. I think a lot of the lights, the ghost lights here in the United States, the Brown Mountain lights, the Marfa lights, there's so many places that have ghost lights and things like it. Many of them look like they're extraterrestrial or demonic because they could just move so fast. But they have the assumption that it's really far away. I think this is going to help explain a good portion of the UFO lights that are out there. A good portion of them. They're unidentified flying objects. They got that right. But they always seem to want to assign it to alien intelligence from another planet that evolved and this and that. And then they're just going down the wrong path. So yes, I did not take this picture, but I have seen this exact same phenomenon. I extracted this from the Hesdalen website. This I did see. I saw a fast fly-in of a small luminary. Looked just like a small dim star. And again, I made this all green to simulate the fact that I'm looking through a night vision scope. So here's the shooting star, so to speak, and it stops. Okay, shooting stars don't stop. This one did. It's not a shooting star. Came to a dead stop. It stayed illuminated, blended in with the other dim stars. Very hard to pick out, but it did not go out. I watched it for about 3 minutes, and then suddenly 7 stars, 6 others with it, started moving to the right, real slow. Total social behavior that I am seeing here. And maybe courtship, because 2 split off. And they were watched by me go through the sky for the next 15 minutes as they got further and further away, and they got a little lower. And you know, if you're looking for stars, the lower you get in the sky from the top to the horizon, the more they're going to start twinkling because of the heat of the earth. So that was another distortion of why I lost them as well. But they're getting further away, they're getting a little lower, and eventually the lights are only so bright, even with the night vision at 35,000 times the magnification of the light itself. Eventually I lost it. But fascinating, huh? Social behavior. Now I want to explain more of the nature of what these creatures are capable of doing all by themselves with their lights. They are nearly unlimited. I mean, I say that because every time I turn around, they're doing something different and beautiful and amazing. One of our locals saw a blue light. It was so bright it casted a shadow. And he watched it drift off and turn into a little white ping pong size light, very dim, and it floated up into the local stars there beyond this bridge and disappeared into the stars. It just blended in and he lost it. Great big blue light, bright, cast a shadow, and then it goes a little further down, goes into a little bitty light. I'm assuming this is identical, same creature, just manifesting in a different way with the lighting capability it has. Goes off and blends in with the dimmest of the stars. And it's not that far away.
Diminishing perspective as it went away.
I don't think it was that, because it happened in a moment.
Okay.
This thing manifested a big blue, went to the middle of the bridge, and then boom, suddenly, a golf ball. Yes.
What do you mean cast a shadow? Are you saying that the light made the bridge have shadow?
Before it got to the bridge, on its way, it went right over our liaison's head that lives in the area. When it went over him, he could see his shadow on the ground. That's what made him look up.
That's what you mean.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Thanks for helping me clarify that.